Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the new Marvel Legends Red Guardian from the Black Widow movie. And if you're into movie figures, this is one of those. If you're not, then you are watching the wrong video, because this is a movie figure, and it is gonna be reviewed like almost every other movie figure. Lots of fine details, overall pretty high quality, and it's gonna make the comic figures not look as good, mostly. Now, it's not perfect, there are some issues, but as is usually the case, it's a fairly strong release for another movie figure. So let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. This guy stands just about 16.25 centimeters, 16 and a quarter centimeters, which makes it just about, let's say, 6 3/8 inches tall. And it is David Harbour. Is that his name? Arbor? David? Is it David? No, I can't remember his name at all. This guy from Stranger Things as not Captain America, basically. I've heard that it doesn't have a good likeness. I mean, for Marvel Legends, without a lot of paint on the face, that's a pretty darn good likeness. That's recognizable as whatever his name is. I think that's fine. They did a good job sculpting the hair and the beard. Maybe it's not perfectly accurate for the final look in the movie, but for a little 6-inch man, that's a definitely reasonable likeness. Throw on some nice paint applications and it'd be really good. Doesn't really have much going on for it in the way of paint as of now. The rest of the figure, the paints are like there's kind of a lot, and also it looks like there's not, because all of the red is just molded red, give or take, where they had to add some to fill things in. And it does look somewhat unfinished because of that. It's very plasticky looking, but the paints that are there are not bad. Unfortunately, this off-whitish, well, it's really just a light gray, definitely could be better. Like if you look at the star on his chest, even though the line work is clean, you can see a lot of scuffs and red coming through still. So kind of a lot of paint and kind of a lot of good paint, but then there's also some standout spots that don't look great. So it's not one of their best movie releases, but it's definitely not bad. It looks fine, and once you pose on the shelf, it's going to be fine. So if you're interested in this particular look for this character, I think you're going to be satisfied. And then as far as the aesthetics go, I do want to point out the shield. Other than on mine, we have some issue going on right there. It's a very nicely done shield. There's silver and red on top of that silver plastic, and it's very clean and shiny, and it looks cool. So aesthetically, I'm going to give this guy a 7. If it wasn't so muddy in some of the places, it'd be probably an 8. As far as accessories, we do only have the shield, which I already said is very nicely done. Mine being an exception, I'm assuming, because it's clean everywhere except for that one spot. So if they're all clean like that, that's nice. If not, that's a bummer. Still, we only get the shield, no alternate hands for this guy. I'll give it a 7. And now as far as the articulation goes, the head is on, what they're doing now is a ball peg. It's technically a double ball peg, but they've done it incorrectly. The reason it's incorrect is they've seated it really deep within the neck, so you don't really have much range at all. You don't need the ball peg to be any shallower. I shouldn't even be talking about this because I'm giving away my secrets, but I'm going to do it anyway for the sake of the review for you guys out there. When you make a ball peg, the ball part doesn't need to be any deeper than the point of the fulcrum or the pivot point. And so they have it pivoting down here, which is not where you want that. You want the pivot all the way at the top, as high as you can get it on the neck, so that you get your maximum amount of range. Whereas right now, you have almost no range because it's very deep. Does that make sense? Kind of makes sense. Either way, they're doing double ball pegs, so it's like they listened to what I said. Like I've been saying for years, do double ball pegs. They finally did, but they didn't really do it right. It's still not bad. If they did it right, you'd be better off, but it still works. So that's okay. You can see it is a lot more versatile than the hinge joint. So I'm happy. I just wish they did it right. Anyway, shoulders all the way out to the side, that's fine. Full rotation. Bicep swivel is a bicep swivel. Double jointed elbows, a little chonky, so not a ton of range, just about 90. You could probably squeak out a little bit better than 90 if you finagle it. Yeah, just a little bit, not a lot though. Wrist swivel and hinge. That's nice. They did a vertical hinge on this gripping hand. Unless my package was defective, he doesn't have anything to grip. And every time I say that, I want to make a joke. Fist hand has a regular hinge. Ab crunch does go back, and it is painted, and it's not particularly bad, so that's good. Leans forward, that's alright. Waist twist is fine. Floaty belt is floaty. The hips go pretty far out to the side without looking too bad. Going forward, they do start to kick out pretty far, but It's not bad. That's okay. Thigh swivel is fine. They don't really go back too far at all. Double jointed knee is fine. That's okay. And then we have a boot swivel, which is useful. Feet go pretty far forward, all the way back. And then the swivel is useful because you can really use that ankle rocker to really nice effect. So his articulation, I said that kind of funny. His articulations are not too bad. They're okay. I really, like, just look, you can get so much more attitude out of a head pose when you can just lean it in any direction you want. I love that. Ball pegs are so much better than hinges for necks. Love it. Okay, so articulation, I'm gonna give this guy 7.5 to 8 on the articulation. Some of it's just pretty standard, like the elbows kind of blah, but not bad. I like that they're moving in the right direction for that. They did a better job on the ab crunch. Hips are starting to work better. Ankles are starting to work better. Maybe they are finally refining all of these things after all these years of doing it the same way incorrectly. So there you go. Final verdict on this guy. I'm gonna bump it up to an 8 overall. 7 to 8 overall. It's not the best movie figure they've released, but it's certainly satisfactory. If you wanted this figure, which I'm guessing is the case because you're watching this review, then I say go ahead and get it. It's not the best thing ever, but I think you'll be satisfied. There's not a whole lot wrong with it, and the stuff that is right with it is pretty nice. So there you go. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, please do give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should, because I have new videos out just about every single day, and thousands already on the channel for the days that I don't have new videos. I'm sure there's something on there you could check out that you haven't seen before that might be helpful to you. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.